Imagine you are sitting on the battleship Nevada waiting to be served breakfast, but instead of hearing the sounds of a sizzling egg hit the frying pan, you hear the sound of a bomb dropping from above. Unexpectedly, you hear an unprovoked 183 Japanese fighter planes begin to drop bombs, torpedoes, and rounds of ammunition at your ship. This is exactly what occurred at precisely 7:50 a.m. on December 7, 1941. I am here to highlight the important facts about the battleship involved in the Battle of Pearl Harbor and provide a brief summary of the attack. This unprovoked attack occurred at the Pearl Harbor Naval Base, which is located on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. This is approximately 6 miles outside of Honolulu. As I mentioned earlier, it was a surprise attack. President Roosevelt had suspected the attack but did not want to fire the first shot beginning World War II for the United States. In addition, a radar detected B-17 bombers that came into the radar. The radar technician incorrectly identified these planes as U.S. instead of the enemy. We now know that the goal of the Japanese was to destroy ships on the battle row and destroy the planes on the aircraft carriers. The Japanese planned to carry out their victory in 2 waves. They utilized about 183 planes in the first attack and 168 planes in the second wave. The second wave occurred about 1 hour after the first wave of attack. In addition, December 7, 1941 was a Sunday, a day at which our soldiers did not typically stand by their guns. Our American ships were lined in order on the deck as follows: the Nevada, the Arizona, the West Virginia, the Tennessee, the Oklahoma, the California, the Maryland, and the Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania was dry docked. Firstly, the Nevada was the most strategic place. It was in the channel. The Japanese hoped that once it would sink, it would block the other American ships. However, a stroke of luck prevailed. A serviceman lit the burners of the ship, and this allowed the Nevada and its crew members to go to war and fight for their country. They vigorously defended our country, even though their captain Tazi Jr. was shot by a missile and shattered his leg. He and his men shot down a torpedo. This captain was awarded the Medal of Honor. Conversely, the battleship Arizona was not so lucky. The age range of servicemen ranged from 15 years to 85 years old. As they defended their country, the magazine exploded, and this sent them plummeting into the water. Similarly, the battleship West Virginia had no better luck. It will be remembered for display of its civil rights. Doris Miller was black and an attendant in the kitchen. He was a man working in the kitchen for the captain when the attack occurred. He was not permitted to fight because he was black. This did not deter him from fighting, though. He stayed on the ship and broke the rules and became the first black man to fight in battle with a gun. On the other hand, the battleship Oklahoma was known for the camaraderie of the servicemen. This ship was badly damaged by 5 torpedoes. Although many men perished, there was great bravery amongst the fellow soldiers to save as many men as possible. A hole was even cut in the stern of the ship to rescue their fellow servicemen. In addition, the California was struck by many torpedoes as well. Although men fought their hardest, they did not give up. Robert Scott refused to leave the ship. He fought and died, as well as many men. They all received the Medal of Honor from the California ship. In closing, I would like to draw your attention to the extensive nature of destruction on our battleships. For instance, there were over 2,300 Americans killed, 2,000 soldiers wounded, 3,000 planes were destroyed, and 21 ships were destroyed. Conversely, Japan lost a mere 30 planes. Due to the statistical significance, Pearl Harbor is also known as the War of the Battleships. This is why I chose to highlight some important success and failures of the battleship. President Roosevelt stated on December 8, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. I suspect that analogously to 9/11 for our generation, instead of War of the Battleships, 9/11 was a war making people insecure. Finally, I would like to draw your attention to a small video clip that illustrates the devastation of Pearl Harbor.